Hi students, today we're going to work on Lesson D in your student book. We are on page 12 and we are opening up our books to page 12 on Lesson D reading. Before we read the section, I want you to look at the title of the article. It says Many Ways to Be Smart. And just from the title, you can learn a lot about what you're going to be reading and kind of predict what's next. And so what I'd like you to do is just think about what it means to be smart and how our society judges people who are smart. And traditionally, maybe 20, 30 years ago, we used to look at people who were smart if they got good grades. Or we used to think that people were smart if they could take good tests. And what we're learning in this article is that there are many ways to be smart and that you can't just depend on one way to measure how somebody is smart. Whenever I have to read something, I often look at the titles and the subheadings to get a sense about what the reading is going to be about. So we've already talked about the title, and we know that there are many ways to be smart. But down here, see where there are subheadings? They're in bold or dark type. And we can get a sense of all the different ways. Here we're learning about 8 different ways, and we've talked about these before: verbal, logical, musical, visual, bodily, interpersonal, intrapersonal, and naturalist. So you can tell that this article is going to be about how different people are smart. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read the article to you just so that you can get a sense of, again, how the language is spoken and how you can get the rhythm of the words. Many ways to be smart. Josh is a star on the school baseball team. He gets D's and F's on all his math tests. His brother Frank can't catch or throw or hit a baseball, but he easily gets A's in math. Which boy do you think is more intelligent? Howard Gardner, a professor of education at Harvard University, would say that Josh and Frank are both smart, but in different ways. His theory of multiple intelligences identifies 8 different intelligences to explain the way people understand, experience, and learn about the world around them. Verbal linguistic. Some people are good with words. They prefer to learn by reading, listening, and speaking. So their strengths would be verbal or linguistically. Bodily or kinesthetic. Some people are body smart. They are often athletic. Kinesthetic learners learn best when they are moving. Logical, mathematical. These people have an aptitude for math. They like solving logic problems and puzzles. Interpersonal. Certain people are group smart. They easily understand other people, and they are good at communicating and interacting with others. Musical, rhythmical. These people are sensitive to sound, melodies, and rhythms. They are gifted in singing, playing instruments, or composing music. Intrapersonal. Some people are self-smart. They can understand their own feelings and emotions, and they often enjoy spending time alone. Visual spatial. These picture people are often good at drawing or painting. They are sensitive to color and designs. Naturalist. These people are skilled in working with plants and animals in the natural world. According to Gardner, many people have several or even all of these intelligences, but most of us have 1 or 2 intelligences that are primary or strongest. On Monday, we are going to be discussing these multiple intelligences again, and we're going to talk about them in terms of ourselves. What do you like to do the most? There's no one right answer here. You may be good at all of these, but if you had to choose one or two, have that ready for Monday's lesson. Now we are going to move to page 13. After you're read, check your understanding. Which primary intelligence do you think these people have? Josh Dillon, age 16, a star on the school baseball team, loves all sports and plans to become a coach. Do you think he is bodily kinesthetic? That is correct. Ida Grove, age 45, knows the name of everything in the garden. That's right, she is a naturalist. Manisha Pari, age 22, writes in her journal every day about her feelings and enjoys taking walks by herself. She is intrapersonal. And Joy Rhee, age 30, writes short stories and enjoys poetry. Joy is verbal or linguistic. Susanna Ochea, age 42, is a vocational counselor at a community college and volunteers at her church every Sunday. She has strong interpersonal skills. And Amal Mohammed, age 27, is a photographer and takes art classes. She is visual or spatial. Hello everybody. We are now going to move to section B, Build Your Vocabulary. And understanding prefixes and roots of words will help you to learn new words. Find an example of each prefix or root in the reading, write it in the chart, use a dictionary and find out the meaning of the word, and then guess the meaning of the prefixes and roots on the chart. So I'm going to show you the answers now, but you should do this, press pause, and then come back to the answers, okay? A prefix is the beginning of a word. The root pre means beginning, and prefix is the beginning of the word. And here we have 3 examples. Intra, in the word intrapersonal, and we know that intrapersonal means inside a person's mind or self. So the prefix intra means in or inside. If you say somebody is intrastate, that means within the state, like within Maryland. Intrastate highways are states that run across Maryland. Inter, as in interpersonal, is a different prefix. Make sure you understand the difference. This one is T-R-A and this one is T-E-R. Okay? Interpersonal works or focuses on relationships between people. And the meaning of the prefix inter is between. So if something is international, it means it's between countries. Okay? So these are 2 prefixes that we've learned. A third one is multi, as in multiple. If you look the word multiple up in the dictionary, it means many things, many people, or many events. And the prefix is many. So if you think about the word multiplex or multitask, a multiplex is many theaters at once. A multitask is to be able to do many tasks or to do many things at once. Roots are another part of a word. Sometimes they're at the beginning, sometimes they're not. But a root, in this case, the root is kine, as in kinesthetic, and it relates to movement. So kine by itself is motion or movement. Log, as in logical, logical means reasonable or more important than, and the root log means word or reason. Prime, primary, is anything else. It means first. okay? It's more important than anything else. That means it's the most important, or it is first on your list, okay? And finally, vis, which is visual. The root word is vis. Visual means you relate to seeing or design or artistic. And vis means see. So these prefixes that come at the beginning and these roots, they sometimes are at the beginning, but sometimes they're not. They all are smaller parts of a word that can be repeated in other words. So if you think about, like, for instance, in vis, the word visor is something that protects your eyes. If you think about those baseball caps, the front part of the baseball cap is called a visor. And that is, it protects your eyes, and that's why it's called VIS, because it has to do with seeing. All right, we will work on more prefixes and roots in our next session. That's all for today.